Okay, today we're going to start by reviewing the phonograms that we learned in our last unit because this will help us with the next one. So I'll start. Sh. E double E. Ow, oh. Now remember with ow, oh, that it's like we have a little tiny owie, and so we say ow, oh. And this is going to help us because in our next phonogram, we are going to say, it's like we got a really bad owie. So instead of just saying ow, oh, we're going to say ow, oh, ooh, ah, because this one really hurts, okay? So we have ow, oh, and ow, oh, ooh, ah. Ooh, And this one, we're going to think of a train and what a train says. And a train says, chuk, shh, chuk, shh. So that's how we remember this one. And our last one is really easy. It just says R. Now make sure that you're writing these and saying them and practicing them. In this unit, we will also cover words that are, we call them red words. And I like to use a red pencil, and you can have your child write these words. These are red words because they're not phonetic. They're doing all kinds of different things that other words don't do. So have them write them with a red pencil and then memorize them. We're also going to be introducing the jobs of silent E. So we'll start with those. So you'll go over the phonograms, make sure they know them, and then they can practice the words with the phonograms on the next few pages. There are a couple times that there will be words with silent letters, and those are in purple. And some of those will also include silent E. And then on page 50, we start with the jobs of silent E. So the first job of silent E is a really easy job. We just say that the E is jumping over the consonants and poking the vowel and making it say its second sound. So we have the word able. So you will finger spell the word able, and your child will say A, B, O, and then you'll make sure to prompt them that this is a silent letter, and then you'll have them write it. And again, we'll think about the clock face, start on the 2, go all the way around the clock back to the 2, straight down, touch the bass line. And with our B, we start tall, go straight down, come back up to the 10, go all the way around the clock, back up, A, B, O, and E, across the clock face, and then around. Okay, and in this case, we're going to take our purple pencil and we're going to underline the E because the E is silent. And then we can take, and we're going to underline the A because the E is poking the A. And if you'd like, you can even draw an arrow over the top so they understand that the E is poking the A and making it say its second sound. And that is job 1. You can mark that as a job 1. We don't really use that because it's job 1, but you can mark it if you would like. The next job of silent E is it ends the word for U and V. Most English words do not end in U and V, and your child will be able to come up with several words like spaghetti or, those end in I. But U and V, like the word U does end in U, but that's a phonogram, the OU phonogram. Most words where the U is saying its sound alone, it doesn't end in it doesn't end in U. So the U for job 2 for silent E is that it ends the word for the U and the V. So you'll do a word like spew, U, and then it's silent, and then you'll write it down and use the clock face again. Remember, P starts tall, goes all the way down, comes back up on the same line to the 10, curves around. Okay, and we underline the E because it's silent in purple, and we underline the U because it's saying because the E is affecting the U. It's ending the word for the U, and we write job 2. Okay. Now the third job of silent E is it helps the C and the G make their second sound. C and G often need to be followed by a letter like E that makes them say their second sound, because otherwise C and G will say their first sound. So in the word dance, D, A, N, S. You'll use that in a sentence first. Dance, we write the word dance. It's really hard to write upside down, so please forgive me. Sometimes I even spell incorrectly when I'm writing upside down, but since this is a spelling word, it's very important that it's spelled correctly. Dance. Okay? And we're going to underline the E because it's saying it's silent, and we're going to underline the C because the E is affecting the C. Make an arrow, if you would like, onto the C so that we know it's making the C say its second sound, and we'll call this job 3. Okay? And the next job of silent E is every syllable needs a vowel. And so what the E does is it gives the syllable a vowel. So you're going to want to make sure that your child understands vowels and that they understand syllables, and you will teach them the words, and there is a list of words to read. So let's pick the word tumble. I can tumble across the floor. Tumble. Okay, and you're going to have to use 6 for this. T, m, b, o. And then make sure that they understand that this one's silent. Okay. And we will start tall. And write the word tumble. We're going to put a dash in so that they know that there is a second syllable. Okay, and we'll underline the E. And we don't have to underline anything else because we understand that with the dash it's because of the syllable. And you can write, if you'd like, job 4. Okay, and the fifth job of silent E is really no job. So there are just some words that they're going to have to remember that have a silent E. They might be left over from Old English. We don't really know why these words have silent E's, but I've made a list of a bunch of words that are pretty common that end in silent E. So just go over those words and have them remember them, try and memorize them, and remember that those are job 5, and it's really no job at all. Now there are stories that go with each of the jobs. So once you teach job 1, you can do the word list of job 1, and then you can do the story that goes with job 1. And again, the same thing with job 2, and job 3, and 4, and 5. Okay, so by the time they're finished with this unit, they should have a pretty good understanding of those 3 red words as well as the jobs of silent E and the phonograms that we just reviewed, all of these. Now, you'll notice that in these stories, in these next 8 stories, that none of the markings that were done on the previous, on all of the alphabet are underlined or marked in any way, but the previous 4 are. So just have them review those and go over them, and then read the stories in the evening, and happy reading.